The Flyers' #1 goalie is officially back and ready to go, and a few surprising, interesting absences from today's practice back in Voorhees. I'm Charlie O'Connor with PHLY Sports, and these are your Flyers post-practice notes. It was a relatively uneventful day at practice here in Voorhees today, but the big news is the official word that Sam Ersson has been cleared. He is ready to go. Now, he did make his return to practice on Monday. Seemed like the signs were pointing in the direction of him being ready to go. But today we got the official confirmation from John Tortorella that for Thursday night's game against the Florida Panthers, Ersson is an option. He will be returning for the first time in a few weeks. He had multiple issues with this lower body injury that he's been dealing with, but it does appear Ersson is cleared. Now, we don't know for sure if Ersson's going to get the start tomorrow against the Florida Panthers, but given the fact that he is the team's #1 goalie, it would make sense if Ersson jumps back in. It'd also give the team an idea as to whether he is indeed fully healthy. Now, obviously, he looks healthy. He's practicing. There's been no signs that he is still dealing with an issue, but they still do have 3 goalies on the roster. ALLCITY and Ivan Fedotov are both still here. It was Helge Grans who was sent down to clear a spot to pull Sam Ersson off IR. So they're keeping 3 goalies for now. You start Ersson on Thursday, you make sure he's good, and then maybe you can make a decision on your goaltending. But John Tortorella would not give the final word as to whether Ersson will get the start. I would expect him in net, though, on Thursday. Finally, there were 2 absences. Well, really about 1.5 from practice today. Couturier was the big name. He missed practice today, never hit the ice. John Tortorella said, however, it was a maintenance day. Obviously, it's always worth noting when John Couturier misses practice just because of the injuries he dealt with last year, and he's such an important player for this team. He is the team's #1 center. Maintenance day was the word from John Tortorella, and Scott Laughton mostly stepped in for him in his roles in terms of lines and power play. Usually that means that Laughton was functioning as a stand-in. I don't think there was an expectation that Scott Laughton is going to, be on the first line, be on the power play, things like that. So most likely Couturier will be good to go for Thursday. Just something to keep an eye on, though. Now, as for the half absence, Nic Deslauriers did go on the ice for practice to start, but left pretty early. Asked John Tortorella after practice what happened, and Tortorella said Deslauriers apparently just felt something tighten up early in practice. He thought it was when Deslauriers maybe was taking a shot. It got worse as practice progressed, and then Deslauriers ultimately left the ice. Now, Deslauriers hasn't played in quite a while. His last game was November 9th, so an absence wouldn't normally seem like that big of a deal. He's not getting in games anyway. Why should you care? Well, here's the reason. The Flyers are in the midst of a roster crunch right now. Sam Ersson, when he came back, they had to send Helge Grans down, who was playing quite well in a third-pair role. Now they have Jamie Drysdale looming. He's about to return, it seems like. He's been close for a while. If Nic Deslauriers, it turns out, did suffer even a minor injury that requires a brief stint on the IR, that would open up a spot for Jamie Drysdale to return without the Flyers having to make a decision on that 3-goalie situation. Maybe they could drag that out a little bit longer. So the Deslauriers situation, just something to keep an eye on. If he misses practice tomorrow, maybe the Flyers have at least a temporary solution to this roster crunch problem. I'm Charlie O'Connor with PHLY Sports, and these have been your Flyers post-practice notes. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.